let's yap. Society is punishing a woman for being a human. Shocking, I know. Also, I'm trying as hard as possible to embody Chappell Roan today. You can't fully appreciate it, but like, look at my makeup. Look at it. Do we love? Am I embodying her? Am I giving Chappell? If you guys like this type of content, you should consider subscribing to my channel. I yap about anything and everything that I want to yap about, mainly internet culture though, and drama, stuff like that. Fun stuff that I know you gossipy little people love, because I'm a gossipy little people and I love it, and it's so good and it's such a vibe. So subscribe to me if you want to see more content like this. Also, as always, there are very important links in my description to very important things happening in the world right now, with the situation in Palestine, the Congo, and Sudan. Please check those out if you want to educate yourself further on those. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I know everybody and their dog is talking about the Chappell Roan situation, so that's why I'm bringing my cat into it. I'm so sorry for the terrible dad joke. I was also going to bring up my actual cat, because I was going to film this last night, and my cat usually sleeps in my bedroom, so I would have just yeeted him off of my bed and just held him up. But I am not filming this last night, I am filming this today, so that just simply didn't happen. Okay, can I talk? Can I stay on topic? Let's find out. Okay, so if you want a proper deep dive of all of the details and everything that went on with this situation, I highly recommend checking out Friendly Space Ninja's video. I am not going to go that deep into all of the details. I'm lying, but I'm not going to go like extraordinarily deep into every single small detail. I will be going extraordinarily deep into my own personal opinions on everything, but not every single detail, just because I really want to focus more on, I think, the bigger issue surrounding this topic, which is celebrity culture and the dangers of idolization. So let's get into it. If you don't know who Chappell Roan is, can I pretty please with a cherry on top joining you on the other planet that you have been living on for the past year? Because that is truly the only way you wouldn't have at least even heard her name. Chappell Roan's meteoric rise was fueled by a fan base that saw her as more than just a musician. She was an icon, a beacon for those who felt unheard. Chappell blends fun pop music with heartfelt lyrics that speak directly to an audience that struggles with self-expression, identity, and love. But as Chappell's fan base grew, so did the expectations that were placed upon her, as what happens with many pop stars and celebrities these days. Fans didn't just want music anymore, they wanted a piece of Chappell Roan. They wanted more access, more intimacy, and more validation from their idol. But Chappell is just a Midwest princess who was born and raised in Missouri, so she did not know how to properly handle this new expectation that came with her unexpected fame. Chappell has done 3 things that have thoroughly pissed people off since her meteoric rise to success. You know what I'm trying to say. A meteor. She set a boundary with her fans, she did not endorse American presidential candidate Kamala Harris, and she canceled a few shows last minute. The first thing Chappell did was set a boundary with her fans.
I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the fuck?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know, and she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person, assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second, okay? I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay?
Does she come off a bit heated in this video? Sure. Would you not also come off a little bit heated if you felt like somebody was stalking you? Quick side note, if you feel like she wasn't talking about you, then she probably wasn't. She was obviously targeting a very specific group of fans, and if you are a respectful human being, then you are probably not part of that. Would you not be a little stressed out if suddenly everybody was coming up to you on any given day and asking for pictures with you or autographs of you or anything of the sort? The thing is, like, a few months ago, this wasn't happening to Chappell. She doesn't know how to handle this, y'all. And also a few months ago, people kind of loved this level of bluntness that she had in her videos, that she is coming off a little bit heated. People loved this level of bluntness. They were appreciative, too, of a celebrity who was, like, finally speaking their mind, and, oh, Chappell doesn't have any PR training. She's the best. Hopefully she stays that way. And people just really loved that she said whatever she wanted to say in her interviews. But now that it was an issue for them, they hated it. Her authenticity quickly became a double-edged sword in this situation. The second thing Chappell did was fail to endorse presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Forewarning for this section, I will be talking not about politics, but obviously a little bit about politics. But like not, you'll see, watch it or skip it if you just don't want to hear about politics at all. This happened when in an interview, Chappell said, "I have so many issues with our government in every way. There are so many things that I would want to change, so I don't feel pressured to endorse someone. There's problems on both sides. I encourage people to use your critical thinking skills. Use your vote, vote small, vote for what's going on in your city." And people then assumed that she was a Trump supporter. You heard that right. People assumed that this woman was a Trump supporter. The openly gay woman who often talks about trans people and women's rights. They assumed she was a Trump supporter. So, sometimes when something is so blatantly wrong, it's okay to assume otherwise, guys. I have never seen someone in my whole life who is so the opposite of a Trump supporter. Like, sorry. And what's absolutely crazy about this is she was asked this question. She did not willingly bring it up on her own, and she answered it in the most diplomatic way she thought she could without making her brand about politics in any sort of way. What's also crazy is what she said in the original interview and what she said in the videos that followed it up that people are pissed at wasn't even wrong. We should not be treating any political party like they have no faults, because just like the humans that are running them, they are extraordinarily troubled. Sure, one party may have a lot more issues than another, but neither of them are even close to being considered perfect in any sort of way. Don't get me twisted like y'all did with her. I am a left-leaning human being who is an artist, bisexual, Hispanic, woman, and who properly likes to use people's pronouns when they tell me what pronouns they prefer. With all of these things about me, I would hope y'all can assume my position. But fact of the matter is, I'm a YouTuber and I'm an art historian. I am never going to openly endorse a politician because it is not my place to tell you who to vote for. Also, y'all are getting mad at a literal character. Chappell Roan is the persona of Kaylee Armstutz. I'm so sorry if I pronounced her last name wrong. Did y'all really think that some Missourian parents named their child Chappell Roan? But to come back to my point, Chappell is a character. You guys are asking a character to endorse Kamala Harris. You're literally getting mad at a made-up person for not openly endorsing a politician. And on top of that, celebrities are in no way obliged to talk about politics because they're not politicians. They're celebrities. If they want to say who they're voting for, they have the right and the will to do that. But they in no way should be forced to or have to. They are celebrities. I would not trust Chappell Roan running for any sort of political position, so why should I care about where she stands with politics? When it comes to celebrity politician culture, the only thing I can say is do your own research, y'all. You should not be relying religiously on the word of someone you don't even know to tell you what to do. And vote. By God, please vote. And be confident in the person that you're voting for, because you are putting the future of your country in their hands. I fear I may have yapped a little bit too long about politics, but I really hope y'all don't get my point twisted and that you do some critical thinking skills when it comes to the toxic culture that we have created surrounding celebrities and their politics, because truthfully, we should not care about what they think about politics. But at the end of the day, we have never had a good president in this country. And we never will, because no person, no human is inherently good or bad. They're going to make mistakes. And we'll get back to that point later in this video. The third thing people are mad about with Chappell is that she canceled her show last minute, and this one I will say I do understand the most. So Chappell canceled her appearance at the All Things Go music festival one day before she was set to perform, citing that she needed to prioritize her health. The people who spent their hard-earned money on tickets, who spent more money to travel there, they deserve to be upset about this one. But the show Chappell canceled was a festival. And again, not to blame anyone who bought tickets to specifically see Chappell at the festival, but y'all, it's a festival. If you are buying tickets to go see multiple artists, then you should ensure that you will enjoy more than just one of the artist's music. When you do also specifically go to festivals to see just one artist, you are only seeing a handful of their songs, and usually it's their most popular songs, so you might not even see a song that you want performed. In this situation, a lot of people are saying that Chappell just needs to grow up and do her job, comparing her situation to everyone else's. They argue that everyone faces challenges at work, but they still have to show up. So, has nobody ever taken a sick day before? Never taken a mental health day? Never skipped a class because you needed a break? I literally requested work off today. Mind you, I didn't call out, I got somebody to cover my shift, but I literally requested work off today because I have been so mentally overwhelmed with just my schoolwork. Now let's take this a step further. Have you ever had what feels like the entire world coming for your neck because you didn't publicly endorse a political candidate? And after all of that, would you want to show up to work the next day? Would you want to go on stage and perform in front of a bunch of people who you feel like could turn on you at any given moment if you don't do exactly what they expect? It's simply not the same as having a tough day at the office, which so many people are comparing this situation to. And again, I get if you are mad at Chappell for this situation because you have been personally affected by it. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's just a whole different level of pressure that nobody seems to be considering, and nobody seems to be taking any sort of empathetic stance on. This woman has also been doing concerts nonstop, back to back, and festivals at that, which in my personal opinion, obviously I've never performed in front of people, period, point blank, but I feel like a festival would be so much more stressful than a concert because like I was saying, not everyone is there to see you. Not everybody likes what you are performing. So, I would be so stressed in that situation. It literally, I don't get the situation. It just takes a little bit of empathy to understand this part of the situation. Okay, so those are the three main things that Chappell Roan did that seemingly had the whole world turning on her out of nowhere. I know I said I wouldn't go too deep into them, and then I proceeded to go extremely deep into them, but now I would like to talk about the point of this video. Do you guys realize how easy it is not to idolize people? Ever since I stopped idolizing people, I think my life expectancy has gone up by 20 years. As an art historian, it makes me really sad that when I Google idol figures, this is the first page of Google Images that comes up. I learned idol figures through the Cycladic figures and the Venus of Willendorf and, figures that people worshipped as gods, the Chemi. They literally worship these idols. And now you're doing the same thing to humans. What? What's the point? You are living on the same exact planet as these people, breathing the same air as them, walking on the same ground as them, and having the same emotions as them. Yet somehow, we choose to treat them like they're gods. And that's literally what idolization is. It's not just an admiration, it is imbuing another person with the image of a god. You expect these people to never make a mistake, to always meet every expectation you have of them. And you know what? It's even worse for women because society expects us to already be a certain level of perfection. But here's the thing. Even gods in all worldly mythologies make mistakes. So we let our gods make mistakes, but we won't let these humans that we idolize in place of them to make such smaller mistakes than them. Chappell Roan has been a human, and humans have punished her. She quite literally went from a small, fairly unknown artist to one of the world's biggest pop sensations in the span of a few months. All she has wanted to do is make art. The fame just came with it, as it does with almost every celebrity. It's not her fault that this insane level of fame and idolization was thrust upon her out of nowhere. So maybe instead of crucifying her for being a human being, we should all take a step back and stop treating her or any celebrity like they're divine beings. Because they're not. And they shouldn't have to be, and they shouldn't have to live up to the expectation that they are gods. Because they're not. This is how we get certain celebrities who think that they are allowed to do anything without being touched by the law. You put them on a pedestal and you make them a god. Now, Chappell, like every celebrity and like every human, is going to continue to make mistakes, but I really hope that she also continues making art and that she doesn't abandon her passion because society doesn't know how to not demonize a woman that they've worshipped. While Chappell Roan continues her journey, it serves as a stark reminder that artists are not infallible. They are not our property, and they are not here to meet our every whim and desire. They are human beings navigating their own lives and their own struggles, just like the rest of us. If there's anything you should take out of this video, stop idolizing celebrities, or anyone for that matter. Because, and I am truly terrified if I am the first person telling you this, they are not ethereal beings. They are not representation of our gods. They are quite literally just like you. And who knows, you could quite literally be just like them if you put the work in. So just take a moment to imagine how you'd feel in their position. Before I end this video, I just want to say real quick, I am not making this video in any way to like ride Chappell Roan's dick or anything like that. I truly just wanted to talk about celebrity idolization just because of the insane situations that have been happening with parasocial relationships lately. And it also feels like everybody on the internet has just been mean lately. Like, it's absolutely insane to celebrities who are humans and to small YouTubers like me. Like, it's crazy. So I just think this needed to be talked about. That is all. I will yap with you next time.